C'est bon, on peut envoyer les joueurs ou pas? Cyril, pour Sylvain, tu peux envoyer les joueurs, s'il te plaît.
Faut qu'on y aille là, hein. On est bon, nous. On vous attend là. Allez,
Ouais, c'est bon,
allez, merci. Gilles, c'est toi qui vas rentrer en premier.
Yes.
And so, a very warm welcome everybody to the singles final here at the ATP Moselle Open 2013. To the delight of the partisan home crowd here, we've got two Frenchmen contesting today's final, both of whom have won this tournament before. In fact, the last 3 years have been dominated by the two men you can see in front of you now. Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, #1 seed here. He took 3 sets to overcome the German challenger Florian Mayer in yesterday's semi-final, bringing his winning streak here in Metz to 11 matches. He did, though, look completely out of sorts at the start of his semi-final game yesterday, and he really did take a while to get into his stride, and that's something that perhaps he'll have been working on psychologically overnight, really. Once he did, however, get into his match, he really was in imperious form, using that formidable forehand that he's got. The aces piled up throughout the game, and he did eventually take control, but it was a really lackluster beginning from Tsonga, and he's going to be very mindful not to start like he did yesterday there. He's 28 years old now, Tsonga. He's only just back in action, of course, following that knee injury. He does look in good shape. He's not just in the singles competition either. He's also done well in the final, in the doubles, where he's reached the final, where he will team up with Nicolas Mahut, who was beaten, as you can see there, in yesterday's semi-final by the other man on the court today, Gilles Simon. Gilles Simon seeded #2 in Metz. Let's have a look first at some of Tsonga's stats. See, 28 years old, 10 career titles, 7 times a finalist, over 12 million in prize money. That will of course increase today. 2013, and he's won 3 times as many as he's lost. Just the 1 title so far though. And another finalist appearance there. Prize money this year nudging the 1.5 million mark. He got a bye, of course, in the first round before beating Roger Vasselin in 2 sets, and then it hasn't been so easy since then. The German Kamke, Tobias Kamke, in the quarterfinal took 3 sets, and he took 3 sets, as I said, yesterday to beat Florian Mayer. So you have to wonder about the stamina and fitness. At the other end, well, also 28 years old, Gilles Simon, 10 career titles to his name. Prize money moving towards the 8 million mark. Currently ranked #16. from a high of number 6. He's looked really impressive on his way to the final this year though. 32 wins, 20 defeats. Reached 2 finals, but without success so far this year. And he's moving towards the $1 million mark. Let's have a look at his route through to the final. Well, it was another Frenchman, De Schepper, before knocking out the number 6 seed, Quarry, from the USA. And as you see, Mahou was beaten also in 2 sets. So Simon, in really good form, hasn't dropped a single set on his way to today's final. And he's gone about his work in a very calm and unflashy manner, really. Once he got to grips with Mahou's serving yesterday, he really did take control of the game. It did go beyond the tie-break mark before he eventually took the match over 2 sets yesterday. He should be fresher than Tsonga, really, which could be to his advantage. Tsonga, of course, going all the way, as I said, to the doubles final. And Maya did really give Tsonga a good game yesterday. In the head-to-heads, well, Tsonga's way ahead there, 5-2. Tsonga has never been beaten by Gilles Simon on a hard court. That's going to play on Simon's mind somewhat. He will be hoping that Tsonga does take as long as he did yesterday to get into his stride. There's our chair umpire for the day, Mohamed El Jannati, experienced figure. As we said, Tsonga does enjoy this advantage, both in terms of ranking. He's 8 places above his opponent today in the rankings. And that 5-2 lead in terms of head-to-heads. So the omens really are in favour of the top seed, Tsonga. So much will be about attitude. He was so good on his forehand yesterday. That really was the difference between him and Florian Mayer. Once he did get into his game, he looked really strong on the forehand. Had a series of aces as well. 9 in all in the semi-final yesterday. So he was getting better and better, but as we said, it was such a strange beginning for him. He was broken in the very first game of the match before he really got his act together. He must be desperate to avoid that, because Simon maybe won't give him the kind of opportunities that Mayer gave him yesterday. Tsonga, though, must be bursting with confidence, not just because of that great fight back after he did go a set down, but also, as we said, as the reigning champion. He's won the last 2 years here in Metz. It's a competition he clearly enjoys, and it would really cap a good comeback from that injury that's dogged him this year. He was forced to retire in Wimbledon. Round 2 he reached before the knee gave way earlier on in this summer. And that also meant he had to pull out of the US Open, which was another really big disappointment for him. Looking for his 2nd title of the year, as we said, having picked up his first again in France, this time in Marseille. Last year he managed 4 finals, won 2 and lost 2. And a big game really of the year, besides that prize winner in Marseille. He reached the semi-finals in Roland Garros before he lost to Ferrer. And since then, it's been more of a story of injury and a change in trainer as well. Rashid, his former trainer, lasted just a year. He was outspoken with some of his remarks. And the two went their separate ways. The big question really will be how Tsonga's knee holds up under the strain of the 2 days, whether he can start, as we said, better than he did yesterday. He's had some long matches as well. Took nearly 2 hours yesterday, to dispose of Mayer. Over 2 hours in a quarter against Tobias Kamka. So he's really given his fitness and his knee a really strong challenge, if you like. And let's hope this clash between the top two seeds here is as enthralling and mouth-watering as we could have hoped for. What we do know, of course, is that for the 5th year in a row, the winner of the Moselle Open will be a Frenchman. That will delight the home fans, no doubt. It's a competition that has been an annual fixture on the calendar for the last, well, since 2003. Total prize money just over the $500,000 mark. Today's winner will receive $99,000. Runner-up, $52,000. As we said, it really has been dominated by Frenchmen over the last few years. Besides Simon and Tsonga here, Gaël Monfils won 2009. And in 2003, when it did start to become this annual event on the calendar, Arnaud Clément, Frenchman, was followed by Jérôme Haenel in 2004. Among the other notable winners, Novak Djokovic won 2006 here. Part, of course, of the World Tour 250 series on this ATP annual circuit. Just 12 remaining tournaments to go after Metz now, after Kuala Lumpur and Bangkok and Beijing. And it's Tokyo, Shanghai in the Far East before it comes back across to Europe in October with Moscow, followed by Stockholm, Vienna, and the final French final on the circuit is in Paris, 28th of October, before the circuit rounds off in London at the start of November. Well, we got perhaps what the neutrals wanted, top two seeds. It does promise to be very tight. Simon knows that he is capable of turning over Tsonga. There were question marks over Tsonga's application and his fitness yesterday. Must say, many of us were mystified by how poorly he started. Not only in terms of his play, but also he did look exhausted in the earlier stages. Very much out of sorts. Once he did get to grips with the game, though, he really took it by the horns. And it will be Tsonga to serve first in the red. It's a good, confident start, and it's just what he would have wanted. 9 aces he hit yesterday in his victory over Florian Mayer. Once again, really strong serve. Such a marked contrast to how he began against Mayer yesterday. Really the difference between night and day. Unusual, unforced error on the forehand there by Tsonga. Another powerful serve. He's looking in the mood in his early stages. So important to hold your first serve in a match, especially in these 3-set matches. Well played, Simon. Right deep to the baseline. Neither player venturing up to the net as yet. Game point once again. Nicely done. Very clean, comfortable. Tsonga delighted he must be with that kind of start. Really powerful on the serve. So different from his start yesterday. He'll be absolutely delighted with that. Just what he would have wanted. Simon took a while to get used to Nicolas Mahut serving yesterday. Mahut, of course, known for serving so wide. Simon eventually did get to grips with it and took over, but it took him a little while. Well played. It's the power of the serve that put him in a winning position from the off there. Unforced error on the right hand there, on the forehand by Gilles Simon. Tsonga will be disappointed with that. The chance was there. Wasn't the best serve by Simon by any means. That's better. Game point then to Simon to hold his first serve of the game. And hold it, he does. So they both started in pretty convincing form. One game all. Simon looking strong. He's been consistent throughout. Just a one double fault he served in his whole match yesterday in the semi-final against Mahut. Let's see what Tsonga's got by way of reply. Great return by Simon. Frustration on the face of Tsonga. Really disappointing return there from Tsonga. He needs to get this one. And disappointment there for Simon. He did have a chance to kill it off on the volley, didn't take that opportunity. And Tsonga made him pay.
15-13.
There was the opportunity, and he'll be really frustrated with himself for that. Well played, Tsonga. He's turned it around.
Honda, third draw.
And another unforced error on the forehand from Tsonga. He's not happy. Very unusual. That was the difference between him and Florian Mayer yesterday. Break point already for Simon in his early stages. Are we going to see another slow start from the number one seed? You can see the frustration on his face. And Simon does break at this early stage. And that could be a very vital start for the number two seed. Tsonga talking to the umpire. He's not happy about something. But it is a poor start for the number one seed, no question about it. It wasn't in a similar way to the beginning yesterday, where he did look lackluster, completely out of sorts. I think he's complaining about something in the crowd. It's hard to see. Well, he's obviously rattled about something. Gilles Simon, on the other hand, looking very cool, calm and collected. Inside, he must be absolutely delighted to break Tsonga's serve so early in the match. He's now got the challenge of taking advantage of that and building an early lead. The two players, close friends off the court. Question is how Tsonga will react.
On les place rapidement s'il vous plaît, les joueurs sont en place. Si vous rapidement s'il vous plaît, les joueurs sont en place.
Not for the first time in the last couple of days. Crowd have been very slow to get back into place. Simon is happy to come to the net. It's good on the volley. Started really strongly, Simon, playing very deep to the baseline. Tsonga all over the court. There's no getting back from that one. 30 love. just out. There were a couple of very tight calls there from both sides. Simon has 2 game points. He really does have a golden opportunity to press home his advantage here, Gilles Simon. Well, Tsonga saves the first point. He's missed it. And Simon does hold serve. Tsonga getting his angles just wrong. Really disappointing. It wasn't a difficult shot to convert. That trusty forehand for once letting him down. Simon then takes a convincing lead at this early stage. And he got lucky there. Gilles Simon acknowledges it to his opponent. Just crawls over the net, as you can see. Well played, both players there. Both comfortable going up to the net. Sliced through that beautifully, did Tsonga. Put Gilles Simon on the back foot. From there he was struggling. Beautiful return from Simon, the number 2 seed. Read the serve well, he was ready for it. Tsonga takes command, game point. He really badly needs to hold this serve. And a strangely under-hit shot by Gilles Simon gives the game to Tsonga. There's still that all-important break-up though. Tsonga seems to have steadied his nerves a little bit after clearly being rattled by something that happened earlier on. Simon, for once, not looking on top of his game at the end there. Tsonga's got to concentrate on getting more of those first serves in. Only 56% he managed yesterday in the semi-final. Maybe it's a question of fatigue. He's had long quarter-final, long semi-final. In both cases, he had to come from behind after losing the first set. Simon must feel this is a great opportunity to beat the #1 seed on the hard surface for the first time. Must have been the same kind of thoughts that were going through Florian Mayer's mind in yesterday's semi-final too. But from somewhere, this man found an extra gear, and when he got into his groove, he was imperious really. There's a big difference between the first serve points won there, as you can see. Simon 75 to Tsonga's 55. That has been the difference between two very evenly matched players so far. Nicely done, once again, showing composure at the net, Simon. Timed his run in well, good stretch. Nice control on the shot, cushioning it over the net. Strong second serve by Simon. Frustration for Tsonga. Well played, once again, very comfortable up there. Tsonga really doesn't have any answer at the moment. Simon has been in total control. Game point. Lovely shot. He's really varied his game very well so far today. He's looked good up close. He's quite happy to play those deep shots right down to the baseline. Sometimes the margin for error is absolutely tiny. Look how close it was. Pressure really on Tsonga now. Lovely serve by Tsonga. That's more like it. That's going to lift him. Hit 9 aces in the semi-final victory yesterday. Fantastic play by both players. What great athleticism and never say die attitude there from Gilles Simon. Tsonga always looked in control, always looked like he would take the point, but he just wasn't giving up. One side to the other. And a wry smile at the end of it. Well played, Tsonga. He needed to be commanding, and he was in that game. Still a break behind, of course, and that's the difference between the two of them at the moment. But Tsonga will be lifted by that. He really did look in complete control in that game. Simon not really having much by way of reply there. But he won't mind. He's an expert all-rounder, is Gilles Simon, as we saw really in that last point. Quick across the court. He's got a great array of shots in his cannon. And already we're looking like we could have a very close fight on our hands to win that prize. The Moselle Open, worth almost $100,000 to the winner. But of course, it's not just about the money. Those all-important ranking points. And certainly, psychologically, to come away with the title, especially on home ground, will do both of these players the power of good after a mixed year. Tsonga seems to be finding form at the right time, moving into the latter stages of the year. Simon's volleying has really been highly impressive so far. He needs to break serve, and the sooner the better. This could be Tsonga's chance. Big point, this. Just out, just overhit it, Tsonga. One of the longer rallies we've had in the match so far. Both players quite happy to stay back at a baseline. Both hitting deep. It was just in. He's really pleased with that. He's got a break point. It's up to Jo-Wilfried Tsonga now to take it. It was very tight. That trusty forehand. You can see what it meant to him as well. No chance for Simon. Break point then. And Tsonga does take it. First double fault of the day for Gilles Simon. He'll be very frustrated having broken Tsonga so early. Tsonga breaks back. And unusually to see Gilles Simon double faulting there. Only the one in his semi-final victory yesterday against Nicolas Mahut. Well, we predicted it would be a tight battle here, and it's looking very much the case so far. See just how evenly matched these two players are. It was just in. Tsonga not happy. It was very, very close. So many of Gilles Simon's shots in this first set have been right on the borderline. He didn't make it. It was a really strong serve, and Simon now looks on the verge of breaking back straight away. Tsonga will be absolutely devastated by that, having fought his way back in to break in the last game. He's now staring down both barrels, but he did show yesterday he's got the capability to turn things around. And there you see it. He saved 75% of his break points yesterday. You never count this man out. Still break point for Simon though. Well played, he has broke. And Gilles Simon knows now he will be serving for the first set. 5-4, he leads. And what a dramatic last couple of games we've had. Tsonga banging away, looking to find a way back in after being broken early. Eventually, he did manage to break back, only to throw it away in that last game. All credit to Simon. He must have felt like the rest of us that maybe that was the point where the tide could change, but he stuck to his game, kept his focus, kept his concentration, and it paid off. And now the pressure is all on this man. He must be so frustrated to pull himself back in. He's looked better than he was in the first set yesterday, no doubt about that. But if he's going to take this title for a third year in a row, it may well have to be once again from a losing position. All credit to Gilles Simon. He goes about his business in a quiet, unflashy manner. And here he is now, serving for the set. Disappointed with that shot there. Tsonga gets his angles wrong. Just out. Are we going to see Tsonga's bounce back ability once again? This could be a big point. Lovely play by Tsonga. The first return from service was fantastic. He had the bit between his teeth. Let's take another look at that shot. Right down the line. Right in the corner. Break point. And a real disappointing shot there from Tsonga. Still on break point though. Absolutely massive point this is for both players. And he has pulled it back. Tsonga really frustrated, annoyed with himself. It was an unforced error. Really unnecessary. You can see what it means to him. He had this one in the palm of his hand, and Simon has turned it around. Just out, and we've got set point here for Gilles Simon. And there it is, first set does go to Simon. Disappointment for Tsonga. He was in control. Really looked on the verge of breaking the service. back once again, but he let Simon back in and paid a very heavy price for it. So Gilles Simon keeps up this record of not losing a set. And for Tsonga, well, he lost the first set in the quarter. He lost the first set in yesterday's semi. And he's lost the first set now in the final. He proved to be capable of coming back in the last two occasions. Is this going to be a bridge too far, though, for the #1 seed? Really does represent a fantastic opportunity for Gilles Simon. Don't forget, he's never beaten Tsonga on a hard court indoors. Let's take a look at some of the stats from that first set. Tsonga doing much better with the first serve, you can see. Points won, though, does go the other way, as does the second serve points. Too many unforced errors from Tsonga. Surprisingly as well, we saw quite a few on that forehand. It's normally so dependable. Tsonga with more winners. Simon, very much like yesterday, he doesn't play in a flashy way. He's unfussy. He does a calm, steady job. Serves well. Grinds out victory sometimes. But he must be delighted by taking this first set. The writing was on the wall once again early on for Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Getting broken in just his second game, his second serving game. He had his back to the wall for too long in that first set. But it's way too early to count this man out, as we saw yesterday. He was a completely different player from one set to the next. And in the end, it was no surprise to see him go through. Oh, brilliant play. Simon will be annoyed with himself. He should have finished him off on the volley, really. The chance was there. That's where he should have killed him off. Didn't. And a great return from Tsonga. First double fault of the day by Tsonga. One each now. I beg your pardon, second, in fact, for Tsonga. That's more like it.
14-15.
Couple of game points. Good confident start to this second set. This is what we've seen from the Jo-Wilfried Tsonga the last couple of days. And there it is. A very confident, comfortable victory in his first serving game. That's what he needed. Just to steady the boat, get his head right. Are we going to see Jo-Wilfried Tsonga once again come back from the brink? He is serving well. More aces than his opponent today. Similar to yesterday in that respect. Topped that one badly. He was looking good finding the corners on both sides. Just that split second loss of concentration. And it's in. Beautiful shot. Double backhand, just found the corner. Simon looking very strong on his serve once again. Game point. So important to get your first serving game under your belt in each set. Well played, he saved one. As I said earlier on, 75% of the break points he managed to save yesterday. That was a real feature of his game, Tsonga. Just doesn't know when to give up. Fair dues to Simon though, kept his nerve. So we have 1-1 in games in the second set. Both players holding their first game, their first serve. Who's going to be the first to blink? This is where it went wrong for Tsonga in the first set. Just out. Well read by Tsonga. It's looking a bit out of sorts in this game. You can see, strangely, more forehand errors from Tsonga than Simon. Nice rally. Interesting to see how Gilles Simon was pushing Tsonga onto the backhand. Doesn't want to give him that opportunity on the forehand. And that's game. Tsonga, well, he got over that mental bubble that he had in the first set when his second serving game was the first one that was broken. Once again, as we saw yesterday and the day before, Tsonga looking stronger in the second set after appearing a bit unconvincing in the first. But he's got his work cut out today. It's two very evenly matched players here. Haven't seen any sign of injury from Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. He'll be delighted with that. If he can get back to full fitness ahead of the grueling schedule between now and the end of the year. It could turn out to be a highly successful one for him. But he's got to take one thing at a time, and right now he knows that the only way he's going to retain his Moselle Open title is by breaking as soon as possible Gilles Simon's serve. Simon, well, things have generally gone pretty much to plan. Still hasn't lost a single set. The interesting thing would be to see, if he was to lose this second set, how he would react to it. It's been such a comfortable journey through to the final for Gilles Simon. Much tougher than his opponent today. An unforced error on the forehand once again from Simon. Well played, Tsonga. Always in control of that point. He had Simon exactly where he wanted him. Could this be Tsonga's chance to get that all-important break? 15-30. No surprise to see those forehand winners stacking in favour of Tsonga. Well played, Tsonga. Once again, Simon, you might question some of his decision-making there. Did seem, when he had the chance on the volley, didn't take it. There was the chance. Played it too close to Tsonga and paid the price. Tsonga still on break point. He needs this point very, very badly. Psyching himself up. And he has saved it. Disappointment for Tsonga. It was a really good serve from Gilles Simon. Another point, 3 in a row now for Simon. Once again, the onus has swung away from the #1 seed. As we move towards the hour mark in this game. And he does hold serve. Tsonga got a little bit lucky when the ball hitting the net. But Gilles Simon held his nerve. 2 games all in this second set. Both players holding serve all the way at the moment. Well played. What has Tsonga got by way of reply? Oh, that's well played, Tsonga. Strength of the serve, all important there. That's more like it from Tsonga. And he didn't get it right. It was there for the taking. He'd be disappointed with that. Just misjudged it. And the point goes Simon's way. Well played, Simon. Great return from the serve. And he's got a break point now. Tsonga cannot afford to be broken at this stage. Once again, we could be at a key point in the match here. And that is a beautiful shot from Simon. He's made the break. And he has given himself a massive chance of winning the Moselle Open now. His all-round play has been exemplary for the most part. So solid, dependable. Tsonga looked like he had him, but what a wonderful return on the double backhand. So take a look at it again. He was stretching, he knew exactly what he wanted. And got his reward for a daring shot, really. So, Tsonga broken. And Simon knows that should he hold his next serve, he really is in a commanding position. Tsonga doing much better the second set with his first serve, but it didn't help him in the end. Interesting comparison there. See how much worse Simon's serves are, the first serves are, compared to the first set. He's not going to be worried about that right now, though. He's got the momentum. Lovely play, wrong-footed Tsonga, saw Tsonga take one step too far to the right, put it back across him on the left, and took the point. His decision-making hasn't always been top class during the day today. And once again, an unforced error on the forehand. Unlike Tsonga, really. This is when we really expected him to kick in, as we do reach the 1 hour mark. As you can see, way more unforced errors for Tsonga. He needed that point badly.
Well,
Simon worked hard to break Tsonga's serve for the first time in the second set. He doesn't want to throw it away now. Looked long, it was long. Another unforced error, and Simon moves into game point. And it's out. And Simon takes it, and momentum really is at the moment with the number 2 seed. 4-2, he leads in this second set. One set up, of course, as well. What has Tsonga got in terms of mental and physical strength left? It's been a draining week for him. He's really up against it now, is Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. It wouldn't be the first time he pulls it out of the hat. Once again, it's that forehand that lets him down, Tsonga. Uncharacteristic for him. Just too long. He's looking stronger once again. Inconsistency is dogging Jo-Wilfried Tsonga though in this match. That's more like it. 2 game points, no chance. Straight through the racket maybe. Could this be when Jo-Wilfried Tsonga finally kicks into gear? It's taken him too long. He knows he's got to break, of course. But for the first time, he looked so convincing there. In his second set, we expected more of him, to be honest, once he went the set down. He's capable of better, no question about that. Gilles Simon, well, we've talked a lot about Tsonga's injury. Simon's had his own problems with injuries. He's been out for the past month, in which time his partner gave birth to a baby boy, his second, called Valentin. What a perfect way to end the month this would be for Gilles Simon, if he could, on home soil, wrap up his first title of the year. Well, he's given himself the best possible platform to work from. Really, it's just a question for Gilles Simon of more of the same. It's a consistent high level he's played to all week. It is that confidence, that momentum. Look at the errors from Tsonga there. 15 now on the forehand. It was that forehand that won in the semi-final yesterday, no question about it. It's deserted him in too many occasions today. And another disappointing forehand from Tsonga. Oh, is he going to change racket maybe? He's certainly not happy. He does indeed. It's a frustrated looking Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. The crowd sense it too. He's got a lot of support here in Metz. Well, change of racket doesn't seem to have changed his form. Once again, an unforced error on the forehand. Such a marked contrast to how he was yesterday in the second set. That's more like it. That's what we come to expect from Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. He pushed him from one side of the court to the other, Simon, and then a beautiful drop shot just over the net to secure the point. Sheer strength of the serve was enough there for Simon as he moves on to game point once more. And a commanding position in this final. Beautiful shot. He's done it. He's held serve once again. And he's looking very, very good, is Gilles Simon. He is now just one game away from this year's title here in the Moselle Open. One break of serve from Tsonga. Let's see just how mentally strong Jo-Wilfried Tsonga is now. He's got it all to do. And once again, it's just not happening for Tsonga today. Look at that, 30 unforced errors. And another one on the forehand, would you believe it? The point was there for the taking. Just looked a formality to put it away. And that rueful look on his face tells the story. It is going to take some comeback from Jo-Wilfried Tsonga today if he's going to hold on to his title. And he's overdone it again. We're at match point. Simon really can't have imagined it would have been so straightforward. Let's see what kind of survival instinct Tsonga has. And there it is. Gilles Simon is the 2013 ATP Moselle Open winner. The #2 seed upsets the odds, beats his friend Jo-Wilfried Tsonga 4-6, 3-6. In the end, it was comfortable. Simon must be absolutely delighted. He has played fantastic tennis all the way through the week. He hasn't dropped a single set on his way to the title. And really, he must have been expecting a stronger challenge from the reigning champion and #1 seed Tsonga today. In reality, it's gone almost entirely Simon's way. It was an early break in the first set that was pivotal, and Tsonga never really recovered. By the time we got to the last point, it was unforced errors too many times from Tsonga. And in the end, there you see the smile and fist of a winner. Congratulations to the 28-year-old Gilles Simon. His first title of the year. He's delighted to do so on French soil. So let's have a look at some of the match stats then. First serves in, Tsonga much better than Simon in that respect. It was the unforced errors that cost him today. 33 you see against Simon's 21. It was those forehands that were so imperious yesterday, drove him on to victory over the German Florian Mayer. It wasn't to be so today. He looked strangely out of sorts. Had a slight niggle with somebody in the crowd during the first set. Seemed to unbalance him a little bit mentally. And although he managed to pull out more winners than the eventual champion Simon, it wasn't enough. You can see the first serve points 80% won by Simon. That turned out to be really vital too. And it was just a solid display from the number 2 seed, exactly really how it's been the rest of the tournament, really. He hasn't dropped a set. He's gone about his work in a business-like fashion, quietly getting the job done, serving well, always looking good at the net. And that consistent high level has turned out to serve him well today. And it will put him in great form mentally for the final rush of tournaments before the end of the year, 2013. Starting in Kuala Lumpur and Bangkok, followed by Beijing. It is a beautiful trophy. The prize money, well, it'll be almost $100,000 today for Gilles Simon. We're awaiting the presentation now. It was a good game, not as close maybe as some of us thought it would be. Most experts, I think, were expecting it to go to all 3 sets. It wasn't to be. The number 1 seed and reigning champion, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, disappointing on the day, but a worthy title winner in Gilles Simon, the number 2 seed. And we will leave you and say goodbye ahead of the presentation of this year's ATP Moselle Open. Gilles Simon from France beats his fellow compatriot Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Cérémonie de remise de récompense du Moselle Open 2013. Pour accueillir les remettants, je vais appeler M. Yvon Gérard, manager général, et Julien Bouter, directeur du tournoi. Nous allons accueillir le président de la Ligue de Lorraine de tennis, M. Lionel Ollinger, accompagné de M. Jean-Paul Nollet, directeur du groupe BNP Paribas Lorraine Nord. accompagné de monsieur le maire de Metz, monsieur Dominique Gros, accompagné de monsieur le maire adjoint chargé des sports à la ville de Metz, monsieur Belkir Belhaddad, accompagné de monsieur Jean-François, vice-président du Conseil général de Moselle, chargé des sports. Et accompagné, ils vont nous rejoindre par le centre de monsieur Paul Guida, président du Conseil général Moselle Junior. Et monsieur le président du Conseil général de la Moselle, monsieur Patrick Weiten, avec le trophée de cristallerie de Saint-Louis. Le savoir-faire mosellan ici sur ce cours. Tout de suite, quelques mots, monsieur le président du Conseil général. Monsieur Weiten, s'il vous plaît.
Merci. Je voudrais tout d'abord saluer et féliciter les organisateurs de ce tournoi, Yvon Gérard, M. Kaizen et son directeur Julien Bouter. Ils nous ont organisé un tournoi d'une dimension planétaire. Et je voudrais les saluer et je voudrais que vous les applaudissiez bien fort, ils le méritent vraiment. Nous avons la chance d'avoir ici à Metz, en Moselle, un tournoi qui rayonne, qui donne de l'attractivité au territoire, avec des matchs de grande qualité. Le département de la Moselle a souhaité associer la jeunesse mosellane. C'est la raison de la présence à mes côtés de Paul Guida, président du Conseil général junior. Près de 5000 jeunes ont été accueillis, collégiens, enfants du centre départemental de l'enfance, tennisman des écoles de tennis de Moselle. C'était une volonté de donner une dimension sociale en direction de la jeunesse. Je voulais saluer également les partenaires, les entreprises qui ont fait le pari d'un événement de cette dimension-là, et c'est important. Et enfin, je voudrais féliciter les compétiteurs. Nous avons eu une très belle finale franco-française. Je suis très heureux que, naturellement, Gilles et Tsonga se soient retrouvés dans cette finale. Nous avons un beau vainqueur. Aujourd'hui, nous sortons avec une Moselle encore grandie et comme je le disais, c'est une possibilité pour nous de montrer que nous avons réussi ensemble. Donc bravo encore. Nous sommes très très heureux de cette belle finale que nous venons, à laquelle nous venons d'assister. Donc bravo encore à tous les organisateurs dans un partenariat avec la ville de Metz qui est absolument essentiel dans l'action que nous conduisons. Nous devons être présents pour préserver ce haut lieu du tennis mondial ici en Moselle à Metz. C'est essentiel pour notre jeunesse, pour cette vitrine de l'attractivité économique et sportive du département, de la région et de la ville de Metz. Bravo encore, merci encore de cette organisation et bravo à Gilles Simon.
Merci, Président. Et nous allons récompenser le finaliste de ce Moselle Open 2013, Joe Wilfried Tsonga. Le vainqueur de ce Moselle Open 2013, il obtient son deuxième titre ici, le 11e de sa carrière, Gilles Simon. Et il soulève le trophée des cristalleries de Saint-Louis, offert au vainqueur du Moselle Open. Avant de l'écouter dire quelques mots avec Joe Wilfried Tsonga.
Bonjour tout le monde. Voilà, malgré tout, malgré ma défaite d'aujourd'hui, je suis très heureux d'être parmi vous. En début de semaine, si on m'avait dit que je serais là dimanche, j'aurais signé tout de suite. Donc voilà, tout d'abord, félicitations à Gilles. Bravo mon pote. Je voudrais remercier toutes... Je voudrais remercier toute l'organisation du tournoi qui m'accueille toujours avec énormément de générosité, presque avec de l'amour. Donc voilà, c'est super, merci beaucoup. Je voudrais remercier bien sûr tous les gens qui travaillent pour ce tournoi également, tous les ramasseurs de balles, tous les arbitres, même les photographes, parce que c'est vrai que c'est grâce à vous, quelque part, si on peut organiser de beaux spectacles comme celui-là. Donc voilà, je crois qu'un tournoi comme celui-là pour une ville en France, c'est très important. Ça permet d'avoir une aura à travers le monde et de faire venir des gens de partout. Donc j'espère qu'on va pouvoir pérenniser le tournoi. Merci.
Gilles Simon au micro.
Merci, merci à tous. Je vais commencer avec Joe comme à chaque fois. Donc bravo quand même pour le tournoi. Je crois que Joe est un joueur exceptionnel. Il vous donne énormément chaque année. Il a gagné 2 fois le tournoi. Il est encore en finale. Il va jouer la finale du double juste après. Donc voilà, il vous donne énormément chaque année. Et donc voilà, c'est une énorme performance pour moi d'arriver à le battre ici en finale. Et voilà, donc merci Joe pour tout ce que tu as fait ici. Bon, après, tu l'as déjà dit, donc merci évidemment à toute l'organisation. Je sais que vous travaillez tous très dur pour avoir ce tournoi qui s'est embelli année après année. C'est la dernière fois que je suis venu ici, c'était encore aux arènes. La place a changé, mais voilà, le public n'a pas changé, donc j'étais très heureux de vous retrouver ici. Ça m'a fait chaud au cœur parce qu'il y en a beaucoup d'entre vous qui étaient venus me voir pendant le tournoi pour me dire que quand j'avais gagné, ça avait été aussi un bon moment pour vous, donc vous ne m'avez pas oublié. Et voilà, ça a été un grand moment pour moi de soulever encore une fois ce trophée, même si j'ai encore failli me démettre l'épaule parce qu'il pèse 20 kilos. Mais voilà, ça a été un grand moment, un moment particulier. Déjà la dernière fois, cette fois encore. Et voilà, ça a été une semaine parfaite. Et merci à tous. Et voilà, à l'année prochaine.
Et le vainqueur, alors que l'on fait ses premières photos ici, va recevoir également le chèque offert par BNP Paribas, remis au vainqueur. Et je vais demander à Evelyne de nous rejoindre. Et Gilles, il va y avoir une photo supplémentaire. Voilà. Evelyne va se mettre à côté de toi. Allez, Monsieur Nollet va lui remettre ce chèque offert au vainqueur. Restez avec nous dans quelques instants, on vous l'a dit, la finale du double. On va savoir combien de temps Joe va prendre pour récupérer. Parce qu'il a fait un marathon cette semaine entre les simples et le double. Et il jouera avec Nicolas Mahut. On retrouvera Brunstrom et Klaassen. Voilà, l'horaire, on vient de l'avoir, donc c'est à 17h que le double reprendra, dans 45 minutes, le temps de récupérer, d'aller répondre aux médias pour Joe, et il sera sur le court donc à 17h pour le double. Brunstrom, le Suédois, et Ravenglasen